Hustle culture is lying to you. It promises wealth, but leaves you poorer in balance, health, and emotional wealth. Let's uncover why hustle isn't the answer, and what truly builds a richer life. We live in a world that glorifies the hustle. Everywhere we look, the message is loud and clear. Work harder, do more, move faster, never stop. The hustle is celebrated as the only road to success, the proof of ambition, the badge of honor in modern life. And so, day after day, people sacrifice rest, joy, and connection, believing that one day, when they've worked enough, they'll finally earn peace. But here's the reality that hits silently. Hustle never ends. Hustle always asks for more. And when we buy into this culture of hustle, we don't just trade our hours. We trade our health. We trade our family moments. We trade the laughter of children, the warm comfort of a meal shared slowly, the small joys that make life more than just survival. Think of how often this happens in everyday life. You come home after a long day, but instead of enjoying dinner, your mind is still at work. Your body is at the table, but your presence is absent. Your child tells a story about their day, but you only half hear it, nodding while scrolling emails. A friend calls, but you decline, "I'm too busy." The hustle whispers that you'll make it up to them later, but later rarely comes. Many of us wake up in the morning with schedules already overflowing. Hustle drives us into multitasking, rushing through routines without awareness. The calendar is stacked, the to-do list endless. And at night, when the lights go off, the mind still races with deadlines, deals, and unfinished tasks. Sleep becomes shallow, rest incomplete. This is the quiet tax of hustle. Life keeps moving, but we stop truly living. And the most dangerous part? Hustle convinces us that we are never enough. If we stop, we feel guilty. If we rest, we feel unproductive. Hustle culture has trained us to measure our worth, not by who we are, but by how much we produce. And that belief slowly corrodes the soul. The cost isn't only personal. Relationships suffer. Family suffers. Emotional wealth, the invisible account of joy, love, and connection, starts running empty. And unlike a bank account, when this emotional account is overdrawn, the bankruptcy is silent but devastating. You feel it in loneliness, in exhaustion, in the quiet question that wakes you at night. Is this all there is? Why is this problem so serious? Because hustle doesn't just steal time, it steals meaning. The glorification of hustle creates a subtle but powerful lie. If you just push harder now, you'll enjoy life later. But later is a mirage. Later often never arrives. Or when it does, it's too late. How many people sacrifice their health in their 30s and 40s to climb, only to spend their 50s and 60s paying for medical bills? How many parents work endless hours to provide for their children, only to realize those children grew up feeling emotionally unseen? How many lives are filled with financial wealth, but bankrupt in emotional wealth? The hustle takes not only your hours, but also your presence. It robs you of the ability to taste a meal fully, to hear laughter without distraction, to enjoy the feeling of the sun on your face without a rush to the next task. Hustle shrinks life into a series of deadlines. And here's the truth. Deadlines are endless, but your days are not. Think of the damage at its most extreme. Burnout is not just tiredness, it's a collapse of spirit. It's waking up with no willpower left, no creativity, no hope. It's snapping at loved ones for no reason, because inside you are running on fumes. It's standing in the middle of success, with the promotion or the title, and feeling nothing but emptiness. And yet, hustle culture applauds you for this. It tells you exhaustion is proof of commitment. It tells you missing family time is the cost of greatness. It tells you to be proud of your stress. But deep down, when the applause fades, the loneliness remains. The urgency is real because life doesn't wait. Every moment given to hustle is a moment stolen from something else. You cannot reclaim the bedtime story you skipped. You cannot replay the dinner where you weren't truly present. You cannot buy back lost health, lost balance, lost peace. If nothing changes, the road of hustle leads to a place of regret. Not just the regret of, I worked too much, but the deeper regret of, I forgot how to live. So what's the way forward? Do we abandon ambition? Do we reject all hard work? No. The answer is not to abandon dreams, but to redefine success, to balance hustle with emotional wealth. The first step is awareness. Recognize that hustle is not the enemy, but hustle without balance is. Ambition is healthy, effort is necessary, but when effort comes at the cost of joy, when ambition erases connection, that's when the account of emotional wealth begins to run dry. Practical solutions. 1. Deposit daily into your emotional account. Imagine emotional wealth like savings. Every smile, every laugh, every moment of gratitude is a coin of light deposited. Small but compounding. Take 5 minutes to watch a sunset. Taste your coffee without distraction. Write a short message to a loved one. These tiny deposits grow into resilience. 2. Redefine productivity. True productivity is not just about output, but about outcomes. A parent who spends 30 minutes of full presence with their child is more productive in emotional wealth than hours spent working distractedly. Measure success not only in money earned, but in joy sustained. 3. Protect sacred moments. Block off time for family dinners, walks, or quiet reflection just as firmly as you block meetings. Treat them as non-negotiable. These are not wasted hours. They are investments in balance. 4. Release guilt about rest. Rest is not laziness. It is maintenance. Just as machines need downtime, so do humans. Sleep, play, stillness. These recharge creativity and clarity. Guilt-free rest actually makes hustle sustainable rather than destructive. 5. Practice emotional presence. When you eat, eat. When you talk, listen. When you rest, truly rest. Multitasking feeds hustle but starves connection. Presence is the simplest way to break the chain of hustle. 6. Transform negative energy. Stress, frustration, even anger are forms of energy. Use them consciously. Turn frustration into creative problem-solving. Channel stress into physical movement. Emotional alchemy is possible when deposits of joy balance withdrawals of pain. 7. Benefits of these changes. Health improves, deeper sleep, lower stress, stronger immunity. Relationships deepen. Family feels your presence. Friends feel valued. Work actually improves. Clarity, creativity, and focus rise when balance exists. Inner wealth grows. You feel richer, not from what's in the bank, but from what's in the heart. The ultimate benefit? You stop living life as if it's an emergency and start living as if it's a gift. At the end of life, no one wishes they had hustled more. They wish they had lived more. They wish they had laughed more, rested more, loved more. Hustle culture tells us to sacrifice today for tomorrow. But the truth is, tomorrow is never guaranteed. The only wealth that endures is emotional wealth. The balance of joy, the memory of love, the light kept in the heart. That is what sustains when storms come. So the question is not, how much did you earn, but how much light did you keep alive inside? Pause today. Step away from the desk for 5 minutes. Notice the sunset. Call someone you love. Taste your food. Hear the laughter. Deposit small coins of light into your emotional account. You do not need to abandon big dreams. You only need to stop exchanging all your joy for them. Build both, the wealth in your bank and the wealth in your heart. Because when life tests you, it won't ask about your hustle. It will ask about your balance. It will ask, did you live fully? Did you love deeply? Did you keep joy alive? That is the real success. That is the only legacy that matters.